Well, the last month of the game's development is coming to an end, and the next stage is early access release. I have a couple of days left before this event, and I will tell you how this month went before the release. I tried to take into account feedback from users from Steam Fest, and besides fixing bugs and adding quality of life features, I also added new game mechanics. The first thing I started with was combat. I added dodges. Previously it seems that the combat was too head-on, without the possibility of how to tactically fight. You were either shooting from a distance with a bow, or you were fighting and losing health directly with your opponents. Now you can catch the timing of enemies and cleverly dodge their attacks. Then the active abilities. I decided that they are perfect for my type of game, where actually the fight goes on its own, but you can strategically choose a position to attack. I took inspiration from the game Dota 2, taking a couple of abilities from there. Multi-strike, a powerful ability at medium range, especially on a single large target, as multiple arrows will do separate damage. Blade Fury, effective against crowds of enemies. Each enemy takes a short stun of damage, then prohibits him from hitting back. The player can now get new abilities that spend stamina and special altars. There aren't many abilities yet, but I see a lot of potential for this gameplay mechanic. The player has been pumped up, and now we must not forget about the enemies. If enemies' situation is such that the most of them just go ahead on and hit with melee attacks until they die, it's quite boring. I have added a new state when the enemy is preparing to attack, in which he sprints away from the player and waits for his cooldowns. This adds action and movement in combat. Now the enemies are constantly moving and dodge the attacks of player, as well as forcing him to also move to them. Next, I added the ability for goblins to have a bow. Now they can be range units too. This also expands the combat options in the game. But that's not enough. I have added two more enemy types, flying and ramming. They're also interesting. The flying Orksa can move freely all over the map, and they are fast. But when they attack, the player has time to dodge, and after that they are vulnerable to melee attacks. They are fast but fragile, and Nostrek is kind of a mutant of a dog and a ram. They are also quite fast, but their speciality is that their attacks is battering ram. When they see the player, they charge their attack and then run in a direction dealing a lot of damage to anything in the way. I think this came out to be a great combination of abilities, mechanics and new enemies. In the game originally there were 3 regions, but since I was releasing the demo, I decided not to show them, and besides their polishing required time. Fortunately, I was able to locate in this time. Now there are 2 base regions and 1 boss location in the game. I think it turned out quite atmospheric. Also a special thanks to Francesco Marone for the soundtracks they add to the ambience of the locations. Speaking of the boss, he became a bit smarter and much stronger than before. I thought with such abilities that now the player has, the boss should be appropriate. Now the speed of animations of the boss increased and its characteristics too. It's not just an ogre, it's Rainer. And this beauty, I decided to embellish localization in 10 languages: Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, so that more players will be comfortable to play in their own language. Also, it would seem a small thing at first glance, but very nice feature to me. It is a text alerts to the player about the basic needs of his settlement. Like, for example, not enough beds. It's a nice little goal task that can be accomplished in the moment. Perfect. Now I'm looking forward to early access release in a couple of days. I will be honest, I'm both excited and horrified. I'm scared that people won't understand the game or it won't work for them. Either way, it's a huge and excited experience for me. Thank you. Thank you for those who will be playing. Thank you to my wife for your huge support. Next stage, monthly updates of early access versions, community building and maybe in the future a team, depending on the results of the release. Well, that's all for now. Hope to see you again.